Hey, living in Boulder vlog. I just got up. It's like 1:42. I drank alcohol last night. My mom wanted me to buy beers for the Super Bowl. I was gonna go to her house at 4 with my roommate and watch the Super Bowl. So I got beers last night, 6-pack. But I got a bottle of tequila, so I would drink that. So I wouldn't drink the beers. I was originally gonna buy the beers today, but yeah, it was a mistake buying the beers last night. I just got up and looked in the garage. I mean, in the refrigerator, and there's one freaking beer. I drank all my bottle of tequila, and then I drank 5 beers before I passed out. And I pretty much blacked out, too. I don't even remember what time I went to sleep, so I need to stay away from that alcohol. Jeepers. Apparently I was sending hateful texts to my mother because I got up and I looked at my phone and I saw these texts. Cutting my phone off at 2 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, was I harassing her last night? Sometimes I can be a little bit of an angry drunk because I'm like, I'm kind of sick. I'm in my room all the time, not getting exercise. And then I get drunk. Oof. The fangs come out. Anyway, yeah, yesterday I was working on roads all day long, and I finished the day with trails, mountain bike trails around Nederland, which there's a lot. There's a website called alltrails.com. And yeah, all I do is I look for a section of trails because it's for mountain bike trails. And wow, I've only been talking for 2 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for 10. So I just do a screen capture of the trails, and then I plunk it onto my Google Earth, and then I trace the trails. And then I take away the image and I just find the trails through the trees because I know basically where they are from the tracing. And if I can't see the trail, I just trace over where I know where it was from the tracing. And then I find the trail later on. And yeah, Nederland, my God, do they have a good trail system going on. Jeez. I'm surprised like all the mountain bikers of the world don't hail from Nederland. Because the place is like, what is it, like 8,000 feet? Nice high altitude. Single track trails, like everywhere, right outside the jacket. Anyway, so that's where I ended last night, and that's where I guess I will begin today. Nederland trails. But I'm not done with anything. I mean, I don't think I'm done with. I traced this bike path in Denver to a dead end, and it was actually like a dirt path along a ditch, but you could tell that it's one of those paths that it's only a matter of time until they pave it. So I've been tracing actually a lot of unfinished paths. It's interesting when you look at Denver, because when you get to the edge, the outskirts of it, whether it's north, east, south, it's like Denver looks like a plant that's growing. Like you get to the edges of it and it's like a construction zone around the whole edge of Denver. North, east, south edge. It's the whole thing. It's houses that it's plots of land. They're about to put a house. They have dirt tracks. They're gonna turn into paved. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, how much bigger is Denver gonna get? Because there's only so much irrigation that you can do before the water is going to run out. And people keep shitting out babies and keep moving here from other parts of America and the world that are getting global warminged out. So, and I'm looking at the woods, and and you can see like development going on there, like all these houses. You go up some really long ass driveway to one house. They cleared the whole goddamn forest just for some asshole's driveway. It's like, how much longer is this going to go on? Because if you do enough of that, there's going to be no more forest left. So, yeah, examining the woods and the nature around here. If we could all do it, like en masse as a hobby instead of watch, news stories of people just trashing each other all the time. We should all keep it up to date on what's going on in the natural world. We should all watch the glaciers melt and the woods go away so we can collectively stay on top of it and make laws to protect the natural environment and ways to enjoy the natural environment without destroying it. Like we could get everybody in Denver to be a mountain biker. I think that may be a little bit of part of the resistance to making everybody drop out of bullshit schools and just buy bikes and ride bikes all the time while listening to audiobooks. A lot of people might think all of a sudden get exclusive on you. Oh, it's only for the chosen few. The mountains only can hold so many people, or else people will start fires, Like that's where all the fires came last summer in California and Colorado. It wasn't from global warming. Fire can't tell how fucking warm it is between 85 and 86 degrees. It's ridiculous. The fires happen. Oh, my roommate doesn't come in because I forgot to close my door. The fires happened because everybody was in the woods because nobody had a job anymore for coronavirus. I went into the woods this summer with Kirsten in my van, and every single parking lot, campground was chock full. We drove up some canyon, St. Vrain Lakes, and luckily found a spot. It was like at 8 at night. Luckily found a parking spot at the end of the lake, but the whole road all the way up was just jam-packed with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I'm not exaggerating. And so yeah, people were all up in the mountains, and that's where fires come from. It's just city people who wanted to have a fire, They're like, oh, I always wanted a fire. Now I can have a fire because of coronavirus. And then they throw their cigarette and there's a fire. So anyways, if you want to protect the natural environment, you bring more people in the woods. You just make them remember not to start goddamn fire. And you make sure to not develop anymore, Make sure that everybody lives down in the plains in Denver in a nice little apartment house, even the rich people, so that everybody can go up in the woods during the day and on the weekends and then come back without having disturbed the natural environment. So that's the insights I get. But I'm going to be working for at least another week on this, at least. As a matter of fact, this morning before I passed out, I think I passed out during the morning. It was crazy because another thing I don't remember doing was I pick up my phone. Lo and behold, I made an order over at the marijuana store this morning. I had no idea I did that. I kind of vaguely remember doing it. But if I did that, that means I was awake this morning. So I was up all night, and I didn't fall asleep until sometime this morning, but I blacked out. So I don't really remember what happened, because my IQ is not very high right now. So yesterday, while I was spending the entire day tracing, and I'm going to spend the whole next week doing that. And I did overtrace. I did one double trace. That sucks, but whatever. Because you can't have everything activated when you trace because the file's so big. It doesn't trace well. The computer can't handle it, so I have to turn everything off. But that's a little bit sketchy because you have to make sure that you didn't do it. When you turn everything on to make sure it's there, sometimes it takes a while to populate. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess it doesn't exist after looking at it for a minute. And then I turn it off, and then I trace, and then I realize later I already traced it. It just didn't populate, so that happens. But maybe I should break it up. But, it's one file, and all it is roads around Boulder. Come on. Dealing with a 2017 top-of-the-line Macintosh. You'd think you'd be able to handle a few polygons, but stuff adds up. Anyways, let's keep this under 10 minutes. Yep, back to tracing. I think I might go get weed, though, because what I ordered was 20% off, and I do have the cash in my wallet. I made a mistake, though, and I got the last batch of weed I got without the 20% off, and so I zoomed through it real quick. I have to only get weed when it's 20% off. Anyways, keep it under 10 minutes. Talk to you tomorrow.